You might have heard, read about, or experienced the ripple effect of the last global recession a couple of years ago. Perhaps ever since, the word recession became an issue of concern for you. Just the thought of it has kept many on their toes. Interestingly, recessions don't just occur at a whim. There are warning signs that it's about to erupt. It takes those who are conscious and prepared to live in those days seamlessly. Recession is caused by various factors, such as a world event, disruptions to the supply chain, or a financial crisis. A recession can also kickstart after an inflationary period. During a recession, there's typically a decrease in industrial and trade activity. Some major implications that recessions bring include job losses and unemployment, a drop in real estate values, and also in investment values. And as a result, this drop can severely impact your finances. Finance is a major part of every human's life, and everything needed to protect your finance must be imbibed. Hello and welcome to Alpha Finance. This is a channel to watch if you want to learn more about personal finance, investing, and cryptocurrency. However, before I get into the topic, do me a favor, subscribe and hit that like button because it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Thanks. Now let's get into it. A recession is said to have occurred when a nation's economy declines over several months or years. During a recession, the nation's gross domestic product, the GDP, or the production rate of the total value of goods and services reduces. There's also a drastic change in the price of commodities, for example, oil or gas. Now, most profitable industries may suddenly become less valuable. There's inflation and most workers are laid off. Hence, consumer confidence also suffers, meaning that people may not be willing to spend more money than they would usually. For example, in 2019, the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic caused major losses in daily business and employment across many industries, including hospitality, retail, and tourism. As a result, the whole world faced a short recession during the early months of 2020. During periods of recession, companies make little sales, and economic growth remains on standby or non-existent. Recessions are an unavoidable part of any economy, but you can anticipate challenges early and prepare for the future. In this video, I'll explain what you need to do to prepare for the upcoming recession. If this is what you'd like to know and imbibe, make sure to watch this video to the end so you don't miss anything. So, how do you scale through? Number 1. Think of career opportunities both now and in the future. Recessions lead to a high rate of unemployment, so it's vital to consider how tough economic times could affect your career and have a backup plan should you encounter layoffs. The best way to start is to refer to building relationships and networks within your professional circle. Ensure you also leverage relationships outside your working environment, such as relatives, friends, and neighbors. Having established relationships at various stages can give you a chance in the job market. You might consider expanding your network through social media. Also, you can in some ways guard against being laid off by becoming more valuable. Invest in yourself as an employee by expanding your skills. Pursue advanced education, free online courses, or additional training. This will also help to update your resume and other job hunting tools ahead of time. As you review your past work experience, look for any gaps to fill. This will open you up to more opportunities during a recession. Now, if you're still very worried about a layoff, consider picking up a side hustle now. Whether things are heading towards a recession or not, consider starting a project which you are passionate about to bring in additional income. It could be to create an ebook, an online course, or blog on a skill that you've mastered and could earn you a passive income. Number 2. Budget and curb your expenses. You need to create a budget for the present and also anticipate your needs over the next 3 to 6 months. Preparing for a recession entails that you have an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Set as a financial goal to have at least 3 to 6 months of basic expenses in cash. To achieve this, build a budget. If you want to build a budget, analyze your total household income from all sources. This includes your income, your partner's income, and any side hustles that generate revenue for your household. You should also include your income from investments and any other sources, such as child support. Remember to list your monthly expenses, pharmaceutical and medical needs, childcare costs, home and auto maintenance, your rent and mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, debt payments, and insurance premiums, including any other irregular expenses, including those you pay annually. The sum of everything will help you understand whether you're spending more, less, or roughly the same as your monthly payment. Ensure you scrutinize your expenses and identify the minimum you can spend monthly on essential expenditures. Start working with the minimum amount too, so to make sure you can survive just in case you or your partner experiences a layoff. Don't forget that the goal is to adequately prepare and scale through a recession. You should also endeavor to avoid non-essential spending, such as cable TV subscriptions, clothing, entertainment, etc. However, it might be unrealistic to think that you can cut out all discretionary spending. But it's crucial to separate wants from needs. Cross-check areas where you might have overspent and figure out why that happened. You don't need to worry about not having extra money now to put away towards your retirement. Number 3. Save and try to diversify your investments. It's good to save. Better to invest with part of what you've saved. I'm not saying that you should not save, but don't just leave your money in the bank doing nothing. The truth is that even the bank invests your money. It's called making your money work for you. Your goal should be to invest after you've saved up a good sum of money. However, don't invest all the money that you have. Ensure to have some cash on hand and also have some in the bank. Now that you've considered investing with the money you've saved, don't limit your investment to one. This is one thing wealthy people do that makes them keep getting richer. We live in a world where anything can happen at any time. Investments that yielded returns last year, even this year, may not be profitable the following year. Now, if this is normal in business, what do you think will happen during a recession? Diversified investment is one of the most productive ways to prepare for a recession. A saying goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This also applies to investments. Your investments should not be tied up in just one venture. Spread your tentacles. The reason is that if there's a decline in one investment, the others can sustain you. However, before you invest in any investment, ensure that you do your research. Obtain clarity on your investment objectives and also understand your risk tolerance. This will create lesser panic for you if a recession comes along. During the recession, don't sell off every one of your investments. You must cultivate the patience of a good investor. One thing you must have in mind is that no investment is a waste. Number 4. Paying off debts. This is another way to prepare for a recession. Interestingly, this may not have occurred to you. Recession is characterized by a bad economy, and the last thing you want to do is worry about paying off debt at such a time, especially with the increased rates of unemployment. However, while preparing for a recession, paying off debts should be considered. Paying off your debt will save you a lot of money on interest rates and place you in a better financial state. Once you've paid off your debts, you can focus on increasing your investments. It's important that you try to stay away from debt. To be realistic, most times you can't help but borrow. This is especially true when there's an urgent need. So you must ensure that the reason for your opting to borrow is to solve a basic need. It therefore means that you should never borrow money to meet your wants. However, before you borrow, draft a payment plan on how you want to pay back. This is to say that you must include your payment plan as part of your budget. Number 5. Turn your passion into an additional source of income. Records have shown that a lot of people are doing jobs they don't enjoy. You may be in that position simply because you want to keep up with meeting your needs. We know that you haven't been laid off already, but it's time you convert what you enjoy doing into an income-generating venture. What are those things you love doing? If you love surfing the internet, Social Media Manager can earn you some cool cash. You can become skillful with your passion by getting more knowledge about them. There are a lot of online courses regarding anything you want to learn. All these can be done from the comfort of your home. The world is going digital, and so people can earn comfortably from home. Well, that's all the tips I've got to share that can help you scale through any harsh economic crisis. Recession, as stated earlier, is a scary word, especially for those who've lived through several recessions in the past. A recession is inevitable and likewise seemingly unpredictable. However, if proper preparations are made, there's no cause for panic. As they say, why not make hay now while the sun shines? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.